Welcome to the Software Process and Measurement Cast number 846. I'm Tom Cagley, your host. Today, we feature a discussion based on Seth Godin's blog. Seth stated, busy is a morally superior distraction. Busy gets us off the hook. Busy is a great place to hide. The comment greatly impacted me because I had a conversation in which someone had equated being busy to value and productivity. Efficiency is vital. It is, however, only a tool for improving productivity and value, not the ultimate goal. We also have a visit from Jeremy Berriault, the Evolutionary Agilist. Mr. Berriault and I discuss the distinction between manipulation and persuasion, something coaches should really get down cold. This podcast is brought to you by Mastering Work Intake, the book by Jeremy Berriault and Tom Cagley. As the new year builds up steam, have you looked at your to-do list and said, "Oh my," or some other saltier term? I know I have. This is a symptom of a work intake issue. Whether you're reacting to your work or personal backlog, it's time to learn to take control. Buy a copy of Mastering Work Intake, links in the show notes. But if you don't want to immediately go off and buy a book, you want to test the water before spending your year-end bonus, Jeremy Berriault and I offer 30-minute office hour sessions. In these sessions, we facilitate helping you to identify and create a plan to tackle one of your work intake challenges. Book time with us, link in the show notes. Efficiency and Productivity by Thomas M. Cagley Jr., Megan E. Cagley. On his blog, Seth Godin recently stated, busy is a morally superior distraction. Busy gets us off the hook. Busy is a great place to hide. Something that I think we all know in our hearts. The comment greatly impacted me because I had a conversation in which someone had equated being busy to value and productivity. The ideas are interrelated, but only through the filters of prioritization and focus. These two filters are required to be efficiently productive. Over the past 20 years, the terms efficiency and productivity have been downplayed and replaced with the term value. The issue isn't that value isn't important. Of course it is. The problem is that the word is generally vacuous. There are no generally agreed upon definitions. Every team, every product, or every organization has at least one definition. Therefore, there is no agreed upon measure of value. Efficiency matters because it ensures that processes and systems are streamlined, reducing waste and unnecessary effort. In today's anxious economy, cost matters. In organizations, this can improve profitability, sustainability, and competitiveness. On a personal level, efficiency allows individuals to make the most of their time, freeing up capacity for innovation, creativity, or just rest. Efficiency is your friend. There are pitfalls on focusing only on efficiency. These include outcomes and value may be sacrificed. Value still matters, however you define it. Efficiency focuses on how fast or how little it costs, but it may miss why or to what end. For example, a team might deliver a project quickly but fail to meet the client's needs. In such cases, efficiency achieves output without real value. This highlights the interrelationship between value, productivity, and efficiency. Short-term gains over long-term sustainability. Focusing solely on efficiency can lead to cutting corners. For those of you in the software field, this is technical debt. This mindset often prioritizes immediate cost savings or productivity spikes over sustained success, innovation, or quality. And that will yield long-term maintenance nightmares. Dehumanizing work. Efficiency frameworks can reduce people into cogs in the machine. Employees might feel pressured to shortcut creativity, well-being, or even ethics. As the Agile movement is assumed into the mainstream, I see the focus on humanizing work as the first casualty. I assert this will reduce efficiency, productivity, and value in the long term. Tunnel vision. An overemphasis on efficiency can blind individuals and organizations to broader goals. For example, a company might focus on increasing commits or the number of releases while neglecting customer satisfaction or a sustainable pace. The key is contextual efficiency, where the goal is not just doing things right, but doing the right things. Those two things can occur together. This involves clarifying objectives, identify the outcomes and values being pursued, ensuring efficiency serves these larger goals. Prioritizing quality. Recognize that quality often outweighs quantity, even if it requires more time or resources up front. Recognize human and ethical impacts. Balance efficiency with empathy, principles, and ethics to ensure holistic and sustainable behavior. Flexibility over rigidity. Efficiency should adapt to circumstances rather than enforce rigid rules that might impede progress. Efficiency is vital. It is, however, only a tool for improving productivity and value, not the ultimate goal. Balancing efficiency, productivity, and value enhances effectiveness without undermining broader priorities and freedoms. By the way, check out our reread that's just beginning on Development is Freedom by Amartya Sen. At the beginning of 2025, the concepts of efficiency and productivity, to paraphrase Randy Quaid's last line in the movie Independence Day, we're back. Thoughts, comments, all welcome. Please feel free to reach out to us at spamcastinfo@gmail.com or leave a message at 440-668-5717. Let us know what you think of this essay. Jeremy Berriault, welcome to the Software Process and Measurement Cast.
Oh, it is always a pleasure to speak with you.
Jeremy, it could be snowing when this goes up.
Oh, don't say that.
We have a frost warning tonight, and this is early October when we're recording, so we have a frost warning going up today. My guess, you're a tad bit, not a whole lot, but a tad bit more north than us. So is it you not seeing 32 today?
No, I don't see that. But they did say the bad F word on the weather report for one of the areas around here.
Yeah, the F word that has more than 4 letters, but it is actually probably scarier. And probably less apt to be a great word to use in the office, right?
Yes, flurries.
Oh, flurries. Oh, okay, flurries. So it has to be getting chilly.
It's starting to get a little cool outside when I go to the gym in the morning. Yes.
I went out to run. I've been putzing around and driving around the van for a couple of weeks, so I'm getting my legs back under me. So I got a 5-miler in today, and I actually had to put on sweats just on the bottom part so that my legs wouldn't be just frozen kind of thing. Starting. Hey, Jeremy, I have a quandary. I'd like your opinion, your perspective, your wisdom, your virtue on the topic or the difference between persuasion and manipulation. You're a change guy, aren't you? Do you manipulate people or do you persuade them?
Well, yeah. So obviously manipulation, we know manipulation. You're doing stuff, you're saying stuff just to get people to go do stuff. And persuasion, some people may say that's the same thing. It's not, because with persuasion, you're not the person, the way you're approaching it and your way you are carrying a conversation with the other individual or individuals is they still have the opportunity to not do what they do. Manipulation, you're kind of forcibly directing them to do something by, obviously not forcefully, not through physical, but through your words, to get them to do stuff, to do what you want to do.
Maybe it's physical.
Sorry?
Maybe it's physical.
Well, if it's that's a whole other story.
Well, it depends on what realm of life you're in. Is it okay to manipulate your children?
Oh, you have to go with that one. Because, well, we've all, as I think most parents have, I know I have, my kids didn't want to eat vegetables, so we put it in brownies. we put spinach or stuff in brownies to make them eat it.
I'm sorry. I am going to laugh at you on that one. Oh, well, I just tied my kids to the table and said, you're not allowed to leave until you eat your damn broccoli. And if you don't eat the broccoli, I guess you're going to sleep at the table tonight.
Well, so... yeah,
is that manipulation? I guess that's a bit of manipulation, perhaps.
That's a bit of manipulation.
I see, and as you know, I've been doing a lot of reading in Stoic philosophies and philosophy lately. The idea of persuasion and manipulation, I think, is important because we find it in a lot of different places. Sales, a lot of times, I mean, persuasion is probably the better angle. Manipulation is if you look at the definition, if you were, and some of the tactics may be the same, but there's a rationale behind why you're doing it. If you're manipulating somebody, you're more than likely doing it for selfish reasons, whereas persuasion is far less selfish and, well, may even be selfless, but I won't even go that far.
Well, yeah, because manipulation, like there's, like you said, from a sales perspective and stuff like that, like there's a huge ethical issue involved, right? Because now this is where, okay, I'm selling you something and I kind of know you're not going to really like it, but I want your money. In persuasion, it's more, it's like, okay, yes, I would like you to buy my product. Here's the reason why. And then we talk through it. And again, the choice is up to them. And you don't put any pressure on them to whether to do it, like to buy or to not buy. The eating the vegetable, the kids eating the vegetables. Like, I don't know about, it's ethical and a little unethical and trickery because you're trying to force them to eat vegetables through like brownies or something like that. But
well, so long as the vegetable that you were putting into the brownie was one of those good green leafy ones, not the bad green leafy ones.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't put, not the bad leafy ones. The difference between persuasion and manipulation is also like the impact it would have on the relationship. So if you manipulate someone and they kind of figure it out that you manipulated them, they're not really going to trust you again.
We've had trust a couple of different times over the past couple of conversations.
Yep.
How important is trust?
It is important, right? Because if you don't trust the other individual, then you're going to be skeptical or you're going to be leery. You're not going to kind of take their word of what they're going to do. Like I'm trying to think of a good example here. Tom, do you have an example?
I have an example. Yes. So I was on a team, not very long ago, and was working, and we had a person who would chronically disappear. Hard to find. We're all remote, but we would, we'd get together and we'd do a daily. we were using Scrumban, so we sometimes even called it a daily scrum or a daily stand-up. Didn't matter to us. We were touching base on a daily basis. But this person was chronically missed it, or we couldn't find him on Slack and things like that. Just was, little. It got to the point where we were getting close to the end of the increment, and they were still, it was really difficult to figure out where they were. And so the leader, and I wasn't the leader on this, actually set up a call that, said, hey, blah, you're up for an award, so I need to go through some things with you. Let's get together at this time so that I can get the paperwork into HR. That was a trick. That was a trick to get the person on the phone. That's manipulation.
Yeah, like that. You're being deceitful, right? Like that's not the best thing to do. Now, there have been a lot of things, like I think in Washington, where I think it was back in the 80s, where the cops used free tickets to go see the Washington Redskins play, and they offered the tickets to all these criminals that had all warrants out, and they basically got them in a room, and then they arrested them all. So I guess, is that considered bad manipulation because you got a lot of criminals off the street? Or
would you ever, and I'll go back to it. I don't know that it's any different ethically. I mean, I'm probably happy that those people are off the street. Would I trust that manager ever in terms of what they were saying, what they were, setting up a meeting to? I mean, because there was no reason he had to make it public that that's what he was, that he was doing this call for that reason. There were a lot of other sort of bad problems. And, I was actually there for a technical reason, doing some technical work. And it's like, as a coach, there's so many other different ways to deal with this kind of stuff.
But was the person producing? Were they getting the work done?
No, but okay. again, as a manager, instead of tricking them into a phone call, perhaps the manager could actually have picked up a phone and phoned the person rather than have him phone. It was there are all sorts of different problems with that. In any case, in general, should we as coaches be trying to manipulate people, or would it be a better way of going about things to use? And persuasive techniques don't have to be directly just, debating the issue, but would it be better to use persuasive, and why?
Any coaching course or certification out there, like even whether it's ICF or any agile coaching certificate, life coaching, one of the key components, not proponents, or it could be both, is about being open and respectful. So if whatever persuasive technique you're using or you want to use to help those individuals, as long as you're open and respectful to them, and they know what the intent is of what you're trying to help them with, then that's the way we got to go. It's not. I've seen managers. I'm sure we've all seen managers and coaches or leads where they've been a little more on the manipulative side. I've experienced it. It's not fun, and you're right. Once you experience it, then you just don't trust those individuals ever again. There's a lot of kind of previous leads that I had. I'll say hi to, I'll shake their hand, but outside of that, that's where the conversation ends. And I had more managers and leads, which is thankful for me, that had use the right persuasion techniques. They were very open, very honest, very respectful, and showed the intent of me getting better at what I do. That I reach out every once in a while on LinkedIn saying, "Hey, thanks for the help. got me where I was. My very first manager, when I started working in the corporate world decades ago, there was a post I saw on LinkedIn saying, put in the comments, tag in your favorite manager, or I think it was something like favorite manager and respectful and something like that. It was a very long post. And I tagged him, and like, I haven't seen this guy for probably close to 25 years. I haven't seen him for 25 years. And he sent me a message saying like he was touched at the fact that I still remembered how he impacted my life and going forward. And I still talk to him every once in a while.
That's fabulous. Jeremy, how would people continue the conversation if they're in a scenario where they're wrestling with whether or not they're using persuasive techniques or falling into that manipulative sort of hole? How would they go about getting a hold of you to have that conversation to help them get out?
You can reach me through LinkedIn. I believe it's in the notes here for the podcast. You can also reach me through my email at jberriault at berrioandassociates.com. And yeah, if you have any questions or want to carry a conversation, feel free to reach out. I would love to have those type of conversations.
And you're not going to manipulate them into signing over not only their house, their car, and their firstborn. You're going to help them with their problem.
No, I am going.
No,
to help
you're
them.
not.
I am not going to do that. For my life, I love helping people. Tom knows this. A lot of my closest colleagues and friends know I like to help people. So feel free, reach out, and I'll do what I can.
Jeremy, as always, it has been a fabulous conversation.
Yep, this has been a good one. Thanks.
In Reread Saturday News, now for something completely different. Over the past few years, I have contemplating philosophy in the context of work and life. Our rereading of How to Be a Stoic by Massimo Pigliucci, which just finished, you can go back and catch all of those, was just the tip of the iceberg. Today, we take the second exit at the roundabout and start the read, or reread in some cases, of Development as Freedom by Amartya Sen. In this week's entry of our reread of Development as Freedom, we talk about the logistics of this reread. It's not going to be significantly different week by week, chapter by chapter, and a point of view that we're going to take as we go through it. Link in the show notes to that, and a link in the show notes to buy a copy of the book so that you can read along. In the Software Process and Measurement Cast number 847, we will feature a discussion with Pete Oliver Kruger and Michael Doherty. We discuss Shift from Product to People. Shift is a business novel of organizational change. I think you'll find this one incredibly important as you begin the new year. If process improvement is a never-ending journey, why do so many people ask, are we there yet?